Okay, everybody, so we are going to build a form for the purpose of attendance, but hopefully this will help you if you need forms for other things as well. Within Outlook, you'll come up here to your little, whatever we're calling this button. I'm so good at this, clearly. And you're going to select Forms. And then as soon as that launches, you're going to come up here to this little drop down and you're going to create a new form. I like to ask the kids a couple different questions. We'll type them all out together. So I'm going to say, Miss Thompson's December attendance. I change up my attendance form each month because otherwise the Excel spreadsheet that populates when you want to download the responses just gets like out of control long. So I do one for each month. So enter a description, fill out this form so I know you're here. All right, so the first question I'm going to ask is going to be text. What's your name? And I'm going to make that required. All right, then I'm going to add another question. What's today's date? Right. And then they'll be able to input that. That'll be required also. You could stop there. What's your name and what's today's date? I like to ask like kind of a qualifying question here. So I'll give them a choice. This could be something that you want them to type. It could be whatever you want. It could be like a trivia question. It could be a would you rather, but just something so that I know that there's an actual human being on the other end of the computer. I also use this as an opportunity for a little check-in with the kids. So I'll say, let me know how you're feeling. And option 1 might be, I don't know, never better. Option 2, so-so. And option 3 could be not so good. All right, I'm going to make that required. The next thing that I do is a follow-up question to that one. Again, you don't have to do all of this if you're building these forms, but this is just how I do it. And this is a good little segue into how to utilize the feature of branching questions. So I'm going to do a choice question again. And I'm going to say, do you need to talk? And then I'm going to say, add all for yes, no, or maybe. You could customize your questions. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, yes, please call my house. Yes, please chat me on Teams. Or yes, please email me. Last option, no, I'll be okay. All right, so now I've got all my questions in here that I would like to have answered. I am going to go back up to my how are you feeling question, click on it, and then down here next to required, there's these little ellipses, and I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go to add branching. Okay, so if somebody answers never better, then they're going to go to the end of the form. That's it. If they answer so-so, they'll go to the end of the form. But if they answer not so good, then that will bring them to this next question that says, do you need to talk? And this question stays hidden, and it only pops up if they answer not so good. So it's not like they know that question's coming, and it's not like the other kids who are doing great are wondering, ooh, who's asking for a phone call or whatever. So there's some privacy there, which is nice, but you can also follow up to this somewhat innocent yet also loaded question. Again, these are just the things that I put on my forms. You certainly don't have to do any of them, but if you want to have a little bit more connectivity with your kids, it's just a great way to do a little check-in without having to sit there and call everybody and leave messages and all that. Okay, so that's what we've got. This is my form. It's my December form, so maybe I want to change the theme a little bit and make it look, some kind of non-denominational holiday. But for the purposes of this video, we'll just choose the snowboarder. Cool. All right, so now I'm going to check out a little preview. This is what the kids will see. What's your name? What's today's date? Let me know how you're feeling. And if they hit not so good, the rest of these questions will pop up. When they submit the attendance form, you will see it pop up in responses. So when you want to check your responses, you'll go to forms, and let me pull up my current one that I'm using so you can see. This is my November attendance form. So I've got 106 responses. It'll show you the last couple that came through. My kids are mostly meh, but I open this up in Excel and it'll just bring up a spreadsheet, and I just go down the spreadsheet and use it to fill in my PowerSchool attendance. One thing that's also important for these forms is that if you're going to use one per month like I do, let's go back to the December one. You want to make sure you set a close date for it so that once we get to the end of December and you put out a January form, people aren't still responding to your old form, because you're only going to want to check one of them at a time. So you'll go to settings and you'll go to start date and end date. So I'm going to make sure my end date for my December form is December 31st at, I don't know, not like we're taking attendance that day. And the start date for that form will be December 1st at 7 a.m. All right, so now that's all set and we're ready to share that. I hit the share button, copy the link, and send out the link in an email every day. The kids know that they do not respond to that email. They just fill out the form. They have to fill it out every day. And that's how I manage my attendance. It's a lot easier than going back through my emails every day trying to make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. So I hope that's helpful.